So it seems like Wuthering Waves has finally hit a new milestone in terms of new achievements and also further revenue they've been generating. Now, this isn't to do with anything to do with like the gacha chart or anything like that. This is to do with something completely different about how Wuthering Waves themselves are actually making money and how they've made an extremely large amount of money over the course of version 2.0 and beyond, which again is going to help out the company long term. And we're going to be going through everything you need to know in this video and also talking about what they could possibly do with this money, how they can reinvest it back into the game, and just even more stats to do with Wuthering Waves in general. But before I get into this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe guys do enjoy it, and also go to GameStop, use my code CASA, get 10% off. Again, they got a ton of really cool stuff over there, so I definitely recommend going over there. And yeah, let's get back into the video. So this is actually an article from pocketgamer.biz. We've obviously covered them a while ago, and to be fair, they've been very informative with the Wuthering Waves kind of revenue and everything like that. Now, obviously, I think it's important to say in this video, take a lot of this information with a grain of salt. Obviously, at the end of the day, this is all supposed to be a little bit of fun. I'm no financial expert or anything like that, but it is looking very, very good for Wuthering Waves because even someone who isn't a financial expert can see that a wave to 250 million after version 2.0's major comeback is a very good sign for the game. Now, they say version 2.0 triggered a 178% spending surge on release day, followed by a 169% boost with version 2.1, which again is just great. And obviously that means version 2.1 and version 2.0 actually did a very, very similar kind of job in terms of actually getting more people to spend and getting more people engaged in the game, which is great to see. Now, obviously, they say throuygh games gacha RPG Wuthering Waves has surpassed over 250 million in gross mobile revenue in a little over 9 months, which is absolutely insane. Obviously, the last time they actually had data, I think it was around 150 million, and that was near the start of the game. So again, it's great to see that it's gone up that far. They say the open world anime style game was released globally on May 22nd, 2024, and crossed the $250 million mark 288 days later on March 6th, 2025. And this is according to AppMagic estimates. We've used AppMagic, you know, for a ton of other things in the past, and obviously it seems like Pocket Gamer are using it here as well. So these are all estimates, but at the same time, I think it is really cool to see that we could be, you know, beyond 250 million here. And they say ending the day at 250.8 million, Wuthering Waves has since reached 255 million with an average of $878,000 in player spending since launch, which again is absolutely crazy. 878,000 a day. It's absolutely insane, and it's really great to see that Wuthering Waves is actually picking up a lot of these sales, because I think it was a little bit slower in the beginning, and I think not as many people were as, I guess, enticed to pull. But it seems like with version 2.0, this has definitely picked this up quite a bit, which obviously is going to help them out in the long run. They say these estimates are for the global player spending on the App Store and Google Play, and does not include any other revenue from other platforms, alternative app stores, or any web stores. So again, they're still missing out a massive, you know, portion of the revenue being the, you know, PC stuff, and also the PS4 stuff, and also some other kind of app stores and things for mobile, which means that throuygh games could be making even more than 250 million, which obviously is very exciting for them. Now, they say riding the wave, Wuthering Waves has sailed to its first 100 million in less than 2 months following global release, with throuygh games' major changes to its game design and narrative overhaul quickly bearing through. The title earned throuygh games a prime position in our top 50 mobile game makers in the 2024 list, and sped past 150 million shortly thereafter. So again, they've been doing really good since the start of the game. They say while revenue had slowed down in its early highs, player spending picked up again in January 2025, generating 37.1 million, marking the game's second most lucrative month ever on mobile. The figure was behind Wuthering Waves' first full month in June 2024, which was at 62.2 million. They say the January surge was driven by the launch of version 2.0, spiking player spending by 326% month over month, which again is absolutely crazy. This was Wuthering Waves' most significant update yet, and took place on January 2nd, kickstarting the year with new gacha characters like Carlotta, chapter 2 of the main story, more bosses, multiple side quests, and a new region with 8 entire areas to explore. Now, obviously, this is a little bit of a graph of what we're going, you know, on here, and we can see like the kind of release, and then also then it kind of dips down whenever we have that kind of lower updates. Obviously, we had the whole Zheja stuff, and it wasn't as good. And then obviously then we've got the release of version 2.0, which was extremely popular, and although it hasn't reached the heights of what the actual original release of the game was, version 2.0 has still been a massive success in my eyes, and it's been a really, really good time. Obviously March is a little bit low because it's so far, it's not all of the data, we don't have that much data on it because we're already 12 days into March, and also February doing pretty good as well. But overall, it's just really good to see that Wuthering Waves is overall revenue has increased because this is going to help them out in terms of, you know, hiring more staff, hiring more people to actually work on the game to improve it in the long run, and also maybe work on some other projects. Obviously, I've talked about on this channel about stuff like animes and things like that. Maybe they can finally create their own kind of division in studios. And also there was actually news of them creating a new game, which again, maybe some of that money is actually going into them creating another game, which is very exciting for the future of Kuro games. And they say daily revenue rose to 178% on that day of the update to 2.4 million, and more banners have achieved similar spikes in the months since, hastening the game's previously established pattern of peaks and troughs. They say though revenue hasn't maintained its January highs, it did spike again by 169% on that day of the version 2.1 update, February 13th to 2 million, which again is great. They say more recently, daily revenue reached 2.1 million upon the release of another gacha character and captain of the Troop of the Fools, Brant, on March 6th. So again, Brant's banner was extremely successful as well, which obviously a lot of people were a little bit surprised of, just because of the whole male character thing. I'm not surprised because I knew it was going to sell well, but obviously, you know, there's a lot of people out there who say, oh, male characters don't sell well. Well, this is obviously a clear example of male characters selling well, and it'll be very exciting to see how well it actually did after the full banner has actually been out and we've had a full run of Brant's banner. They say June 6, 2024 still remains Wuthering Waves' single most lucrative day at 5.4 million with the release of Yinlin. So again, Yinlin was one of the highest ones there. And then finally, they say coast to coast, while Japan represents Wuthering Waves' biggest contributor to player spending, the country's lead isn't as overwhelming as is the case for many mobile gachas. They say Nintendo's Fire Emblem Heroes makes 50% of its revenue from the players in Japan. For example, while Shift Up's Goddess of Victory Nikkei makes nearly 60% of its earnings from the country. In Wuthering Waves' case, 28% of its earnings have come from Japan, which is the equivalent to 72.3 million in spending. This isn't miles ahead of China's 22% contribution, equating to 55.5 million, and Shift Up's home country, South Korea, is neck and neck with the US at approximately 15% each, with 38.8 million and 36.7 million respectively. The title's success has helped Kuro Games earn further investments from Chinese conglomerate Tencent, which now owns a majority 51.4% stake in the company, which obviously we covered that news a while ago. So overall, it seems like Wuthering Waves is doing very good in terms of the revenue, and obviously, as he said there, Japan is leading in terms of a lot of the spending, only by a little bit, but obviously, you know, we have seen the increase in a lot of advertisement over there with the new event that's come out, the new IRL event, I mean, over in Osaka, and also some other things, which again, is just great to see, and hopefully, you know, Wuthering Waves can use this revenue and everything like that to improve their game even further. And as I said, take a lot of this information with a grain of salt. This is all taken from Magic according to Pocket Gamer, and Pocket Gamer have decided to create an article on this. But again, it is great to see that Wuthering Waves is still doing good, no matter what the exact numbers or anything like that are, because at the end of the day, obviously, you know, we should probably finish off with a famous quote from Solon saying that, you know, hey, it doesn't matter how the revenue does, it doesn't matter how much they earn, as long as they earn enough to maintain the game and keep the game going, then it's okay, and they don't mind, and that the revenue just doesn't really affect them that much. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this, because again, it's very interesting to see, you know, some of the kind of spikes and stuff in terms of character banners and in terms of some other stuff as well. But overall, it is really good news for Wuthering Waves in general. Yeah, that's what I got, and I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.